live from the field where dreams come true. Prairie Park in Urbana, Illinois. Urbana Tigers baseball coming up for you on Urbana Public Television. Today, the Tigers open their season and host the Oakwood Comets. Hello, everybody. I am Joey Wright. Pleased to be with you for this first Urbana Tigers baseball broadcast of the season. The 2019 campaign set to get underway. Starting pitcher for Urbana to kick things off will be Braden Rudisil. And a lot of people intrigued to see how he will fare, getting the nod here on opening day. Behind the plate for Urbana is Will Brown. And going around the horn in right field for the Tigers. Check that in. Left field for the Tigers will be Gavin Grants. Center fielder we'll hold that thought as the first Oakwood batter getting set to stand in. Leading things off for the Comets is going to be Brady Howard. Howard, the shortstop for the Comets this afternoon, as Rudisil and Brown finish their warm-up routine. Infield comes in. They'll have a little meeting here, and we are just about set to go. So Brady Howard standing in, Braden Rudisil on the mound for the Tigers. Tigers coming off a 2018 campaign wherein they surprised some people, put together a respectable campaign, the best season that the Tigers baseball team had enjoyed in years. A lot of optimism as the 2019 season gets going, and Rudisil delivers the first pitch of the season in there, a called strike one. 0-1 count to Howard. Noah Ruck on deck as the second pitch of the game is a little bit outside. Call the ball, ball number one. On what is a windy day here at Prairie Park. Not a lot of trees out here in this part of Urbana, so when it's a windy day, you can really feel it out here, and today no exception. Third pitch of the game, call the ball, so it'll be 2-1. Pretty good crowd on tap here at Prairie Park tonight. Fans still filing in. Admission, of course, is free. So a great way to spend the afternoon if you enjoy baseball and enjoy representing the Urbana Tigers or the Oakwood Comets. If you want to make the trip from Oakwood, situated about halfway between Urbana and Danville. 3-1 count. That was a little bit outside and got past Brown to the backstop. So the 3-1 forthcoming from Rudisil, we will see, is a low strike number two. So a full count now to Brady Howard. Noah Ruck on deck. And Elijah Harden in the hole. 3-2 count forthcoming to Howard. Swing and a miss, strike three. So the first at-bat of the season ends in a strikeout for Braden Rudisil and the Urbana Tigers. Swinging strikeout there, so no backwards K in the scorebook. And now it's Noah Ruck. His first plate appearance of the game. A big cut at the first pitch of the at-bat, 0-1. Rudisil coming set. And the 0-1 offering. And that'll be called a strike. That pitch started outside, worked its way, and a nice pitch from Rudisil. And if you're Noah Ruck now, you've got to battle back down 0-2. The 0-2 is going to be called strike three. Nice job from Rudisil to work the inside corner. Two batters, two strikeouts. Rudisil firing, and the next batter of the game, the pitcher for the Comets, Elijah Harden. And that'll be a backwards K to Ruck in the scorer's column. And another sort of breaking ball there from Rudisil started outside, worked its way in, but didn't catch enough of the plate. 1-0 to Hardin. And this is going to be fouled out of play over our heads. 1-1 the count. Fan will retrieve it and get it back in, but not before the umpire throws a new ball to Rudisil. 1-1 as you can hear the wind here at Prairie Park. Taken back up the middle, fielded it short. Welbus to throw over to first, and Welbus to Calhoun ends the first inning. So 3 up, 3 down for the Comets. And our score after a half inning of play, we don't have one. Still scoreless here at Prairie Park. I alluded to this in the top of the first inning. Starting pitcher for Oakwood is Elijah Hardin. Behind the plate, we will see Noah Ruck. First baseman will be Andy Hahn. Second base will be Jacob Spear. The shortstop, Brady Howard. At third base, we will see Isaiah Ruck. Left fielder Quentin White. Center fielder Caden Wells. And in right field, none other than Kobe Fletcher. Leading off for Urbana will be Zeke Brown. Batting third in the order, Jacob Welbus. Batting cleanup, Miller Calhoun. Then Braden Rudisil, Alex Poor, Gavin Grants, Hayden Hartley batting eighth, and William Brown rounding out the order batting ninth. Some confusion on my part as to who is batting second for Urbana. We will clear that up when the time arrives. But leading things off is Zeke Brown. He's at second base for Urbana today. And some things I can tell you about Zeke. You know, he takes this game very seriously. Really a student of the game. Great guy to have around in your dugout. Good morale guy and a pretty good baseball player as well. Excellent fielder. And last season for the Tigers, a pretty solid hitter as well. And it speaks to the confidence that the coaching staff for Urbana has put into him, that he is the batter entrusted with leading off the Tigers season, and he will stride to the plate right now to do just that. Going over to talk brief word there with head coach Gino Hoffman, and he will enter the batter's box, set to get things going for Urbana. First pitch of the game for Oakwood is going to be inside, ball number 1. Swinging strike number 1. To Brown, so it's 1-1. And the 1-1 looked like it was fouled off the catcher's mask. No problems here, though, as catcher doesn't call for time. Good to go is Ruck, so we are good to go for the 1-2 offering to Brown. And Brown will foul that one to the Tigers' dugout. Still 1-2. Tigers dugout shouting words of encouragement to Brown. The 1-2 is fouled pretty well, but foul, of course. Onto the hill behind the third base dugout here at Prairie Park. So we'll do it again. Still 1-2. And the 1-2 offering. A low, ball number 2. And Brown takes this one down the third base line, but fielded in foul territory, so our count remains 1-2. And I tell you, if that's just a few inches to the right, Zeke Brown probably has himself an infield single with his speed. That would have been a tough play over there at third. Baseball is a game of inches, and we see that there. 1-2, we will do it again to Brown. In the dirt, ball 2. So our count full. Full count offering is going to be high and tight, ball number 4. So Zeke Brown draws a walk in his first plate appearance of the season and the first plate appearance of the season for Urbana. And striding in, batting second, will be Garrett Fraley. Fraley in center field for the Tigers this afternoon. And we'll see what Fraley can do. Takes a low, ball number 1. Now, I'll admit, I don't know a lot about Garrett Fraley and what he brings to the table for these Tigers. Just learned his name a few seconds ago, so we'll see if he can show me what he's got here. Ahead in the count 1-0. Pickoff attempt at first, nothing cooking over there. Brown back safely. One and 0, and this is going to be fouled back behind us, out of play. 1-1. Quick look off to my right. A pretty good crowd here at Prairie Park has filed in. Looks like Steve Waller is in the house, or someone that looks like him. That's not Steve Waller? Okay. Well, I can tell you for certainty that Kyle Mills of the Urbana Park District is with us this afternoon. So 1 for 2 there. Pickoff attempt at first. Nothing going on down there. Nope, that's not Steve Waller. He's wearing a hat. And another pickoff attempt at first. Nothing going on down there for Zeke. And Zeke's a guy you got to watch over there at first. Oakwood pitcher doing a nice job. Elijah Harden on the mound for the Comets this afternoon. 1-1 offering here, we'll see, is going to be in there for strike 2. Right down the middle, a nice pitch from Harden. And Fraley now down in the count, 1-2. Harden the pitch, and it's pretty well hit to third by Fraley. He's out at first, but taking second on the play is Zeke Brown. And with that, perhaps the best all-around player the Tigers have on their team. Jake Welbus, the shortstop for the Tigers, strides in, the third batter of the frame. And Harden's got to watch Welbus because Welbus can hit very well, contact and a little bit of power as well. Also good on the mound. Relevant to, of course, his performance in this at-bat, but he's also probably the best pitcher the Tigers have as well. Welbus definitely a player to watch at shortstop. Checks his swing there, but it looks like he went around. And he will fall behind 0-2 in the count, so he's got to battle back here. And he takes this one into center field. It will be caught out there by Caden Wells. Wells makes the play, and we have 2 away. With Miller Calhoun set to stride in. Calhoun at third base for Urbana today. You might recognize him from basketball season when he was one of the key cogs on the hardwood for the Tigers. now looking to make an impact on the diamonds. And batting cleanup, you can tell the coaching staff trusts him to do just that. First pitch to Calhoun is going to be low and away outside. Ball number 1. One and one now to Calhoun. One and one taken to third. It'll be a tough play, but a play made. A nice play over there by Isaiah Ruck, and that ends the first inning, scoreless after 1. Braden Ruda still set to come out, having retired the first 3 Oakwood batters of the game. Just joining us on Urbana Public Television, I am Joey Wright. Urbana High School class of 18, currently a freshman at Bradley University. Taking in my first Urbana game of the season. Of course, it's the first Urbana game of the season, so that doesn't say a whole lot, but home on my spring break this week. Wasn't doing anything this afternoon, so I thought, why not come out and watch the Tigers game at Prairie Park. Many an afternoon was spent out here at the beautiful ball field while I was in high school, so some things never change. Prairie Park, obviously owned and maintained by the Urbana Park District. We are just a stone's throw away from the Brookins Administrative Center, which houses the athletic department, if you will, for the Urbana Park District, the Urbana Park District Gym. Formerly an elementary school, the Brookins Administrative Center was. Not sure when it was renovated and turned into its current administrative purpose, but it's been that way for several years. Striding in to lead things off in the top of the second inning is Braden Hobick, and Hobick is the designated hitter for Oakwood this afternoon, batting in place of Andy Hahn. So Hobick, the DH, in his first plate appearance, top of the second inning, still scoreless. First pitch from Rudisil, who was retired 3 in a row. Good cut there from Hobick, but a swing and a miss, 0-1. And this is in the dirt. It'll bounce to the backstop, 1-1. Rudisil, not every pitch he's thrown has been a strike. I say that as we have ball 2 straight to the backstop, but he's been pretty effective here in the first 3.5 at-bats of the game. We'll see if he can maintain that here. 2-1 our account. And this is well struck by Hobick into right field, and it will fall. First base runner of the game for the Comets. It's Braden Hobick. And coming in is going to be Kobe Fletcher, the 5th batter of the game for the Comets. He is in right field this afternoon. So Kobe Fletcher standing in as the wind picks up behind me. It's a swinging strike number 1 from Fletcher. One runner at first. And this is going to be taken out of play over by the hill behind the third base dugout. Lands just short of the hill, but a foul ball nonetheless. Windy, but otherwise not a terrible day here in Urbana, Illinois. Temperatures right around the 50-degree mark. And this is in the dirt. That will allow Hobick to take second base. So Rudisill didn't have to face any adversity in the top of the first. But here we are now in the top of the second inning. No outs. And a runner at second base. We'll see how he reacts. And if you're Will Brown behind the plate, you've got to be ready to go out to the mound and keep your pitcher confident and ready to go. You've also got to be ready to catch the ball as that gets back to the backstop. Runner will advance to third. Not a knock on Brown, of course. That was a tough one to get coming inside towards the batter. 2-2 count nonetheless. And this is a swinging strike number 3. Kobe Fletcher goes down on strikes. Next up, the third baseman, Isaiah Ruck. 6th in the order today for the Comets. Coming in with a runner at third base and 1 out. So even a good pop fly to the outfield could bring the run home. We'll see. A swinging strike number 1 from Isaiah Ruck. His brother, well, you know, I never want to assume brother, but Noah Ruck was the second batter of the game and is the catcher for the Comets. So, you know, I would maybe assume that there is some sort of relation there, but I can't say that for certain. 0-2. And if Rudisill can get this out, and he can, that's big. Swinging strike 3 from Ruck. Next up, Quentin White, the left fielder today for Oakwood, coming in with 2 outs and a runner at third, and now a sac fly eliminated. So a base hit or passed ball, really the only way for that run to come in now. Or a home run, I guess, could score him too. Of the 5 outs recorded by Rudisill thus far, 4 of them have been strikeouts. And this is taken to third. It'll get past Alex Poor into left field, and the run will score. Oakwood takes a 1-0 lead. Brady Hobick coming in to score there. So now the Tigers trail 1-0, runner at first and 2 outs. Batter is Caden Wells. Wells, the center fielder for Oakwood, thus, or rather in this one. First pitch in there, strike 1. Ball 1. So 1-1 count to Wells. Runner taking off for second. Throw is going to be short. And taking second with ease there is Quentin White. On deck for Oakwood, Jacob Spear. Spear, the second baseman. 2-1 count right now to Wells. And Wells swings, doesn't hit anything, and it's 2-2. So deuces all around, 2-2 and 2 outs. 1-0, or rather 1-0 our score. And this is fouled straight into the ground. Hit home plate, so we'll do it again. Count remains at 2-2. Zeke Brown's going to come in and have a word with Will Brown. and back to their positions they go, and we are set for the 2-2 offering. Runner now at second, the 2-2. High for ball 3. So a full count, 2 outs, and a runner in scoring position. Braden Rudisil, in addition to being on the mound right now, will lead the bottom of the second off for the Tigers when we get there. Lined right at Zeke Brown, and we will go there right now. So Oakwood manages a run in the top half of the second. That's about all they get. They strand a runner at second base. And to the bottom of the frame we go. Oakwood leads 1-0. Big thank you to everyone joining us live on Facebook this afternoon. Live on Urbana Public Television's page. The first game of the season for Urbana High School. They have had some games scheduled prior to this, but those have been postponed or canceled, so this is the first one they've actually gotten a chance to play. And a pretty good showing out here for what you could call opening day. Urbana school's on their spring break, so lots of students and parents and community members have come out to this one. Games over spring break really help with student attendance because rather than having to hurry up here and make the trip to Prairie Park after school, you can kind of plan your day around games like this. Yeah, I'd estimate there are probably 50 people here in that ballpark, give or take 25. More like give 25. I don't think you could. There are more than 25 people here is what I'm getting at. Swing and a miss from Rudisil, and the bottom of the second is underway. Rudisil fouls this one back behind us. It'll be 0-2. On deck, Alex Poor, and then Gavin Grants. Ball 1, Rudisil 5th in the order for the Tigers. And Rudisil takes this one into center field. And ranging over to get it is Caden Wells. One away now, bottom of the second. But pretty good contact there from Rudisil. You know, that's always the first step to getting ahead is to make good contact. And if that's what his first at-bat of the season looks like, lots of promise in the at-bats to come. Now batting for Urbana, Alex Poor. And Poor swinging, getting a piece of that right back to the backstop, 0-1. In the dirt, ball 1. One and two. I have not mentioned this thus far, but Oakwood comes into this one 0-1. The only game they've played was actually yesterday, a 4-1 loss to Unity. And we'll get into their remaining schedule, or I should say upcoming schedule here in the next few moments. Right now, 2-2 to Poor. Swinging and missing, strike number 3. Poor down on strikes. That is the first time an Urbana batter has struck out thus far. At least he went down swinging, you could say, as Gavin Grant's in for his first at-bat of the year. Grant's another guy I don't know a lot about in right field for the Tigers today. Batting 7th in the order. Listed as a junior for the Tigers, so see what he can do. It's 1-0. Swinging and a tip that was right into the catcher's mitt, 1-1. Swing and a miss there, 1-2. The sun has come out here at Prairie Park, and it's doing a nice job of keeping us warm. Peeking out from behind the clouds. Behind the first base dugout, ball 2 is low. Inside, called a ball, ball 3, the count now full. The 3-2, swing and a miss. Strike 3 and the third out of the bottom of the second. So no base runners for the Tigers in the bottom half of that frame. Top of the third is now upon us, and our score, Oakwood 1, Urbana still scoreless. 2 strikeouts in a row there for Elijah Harden. Harden, of course, the pitcher for Oakwood, and due up for the Comets in the top of the third. It'll be Jacob Spear, and then back to the top of the order with Brady Howard and Noah Ruck. Howard and Ruck both struck out in the top of the first, so a combined 0 for 2 there, and it will be the first out of the game for Spear. Taking a look here at Oakwood's schedule, and it's a pretty busy week they have upcoming here. Yesterday, that loss to Unity, obviously in action here at Prairie Park right now. Tomorrow, they go to Fisher, and then on Thursday, they will host Monticello. Then on Saturday, they will host Tuscola. So that's 5 games in 6 days for the Comets. It's baseball season in Central Illinois. And really baseball season across America, as the stars of Major League Baseball get set to open their seasons in a few weeks. So Jacob Spear at second base for Oakwood, set to start this one off, top of the third. Just joining us, I'm Joey Wright, Urbana Public Television, your home for Tigers baseball throughout the season. First pitch to Spear is taken into center field, and Spears one right to Prairie for the first out of the frame. But good contact there from Spear. 0-1, Brady Howard striking in. And again, I said a similar thing for Urbana, but you look at, say, what Spear just did. This is either the first or second game he's played this season. And if those are the kinds of balls coming off his bat thus far in the season, good season to come for the people like Jacob Spear. And I think that was Alex Poor that I said that about for the Tigers. No, that was Braden Rudisil that hit a very similar ball to center field in the second. 3-0 to Brady Howard. Howard at shortstop for Oakwood, 0 for 1. 3-0, and he will draw a walk. So remains 0 for 1. But now a chance to do something. Standing at first with 1 out, and in steps the 0 for 1 Noah Ruck. And Howard's going to try to take second. He will. Pitch was a ball, so 1-0 with Ruck at the plate. Elijah Harden now on deck. Ball too low. Noah Ruck struck out in the first. Looking to change the narrative here. Runner in scoring position and 1 out. This is going to put a runner in at third. Scoring position with 1 out. Gets by to the backstop. Count should be 3-0. We'll see if the scoreboard here at Prairie Park, and there it goes. It updates to 3-0. Bit of a delay from Rudisill, but we're ready to go. And that's going to be called a ball. Indeed, it was a little inside. And now 2 walks in a row to 2 batters who struck out 2 innings ago. And in steps Elijah Harden. Harden, the pitcher for Oakwood, grounded out to short in his first at-bat of the game back in the first. Was the final out of the first inning. Taking second easily, Noah Ruck. No throw from Brown. So just like that, 2 runners in scoring position for Oakwood. And this is the most adversity that Rudisill has faced thus far, and in fact, he's going to deliver an intentional walk to Harden. So the bases are loaded, a force out set up anywhere. That's the rationale behind the intentional walk. So even a chopper in the infield could be a force at home if need be. But this is taken well into center field. Poor will make the catch. Tagging from third and coming home to score is Brady Howard. So Howard comes in to score and makes the score 2-0 favoring Oakwood. And with that, Kobe Fletcher standing in. That was Braden Hobick that drove home that run. Our batter is Kobe Fletcher. Fletcher struck out in the second inning. Nice job from Brown to snag that. No force at home, obviously, but still a chance to get that force at third, second, or first. 2-0, 2 outs, top 3. And this is going to be a base hit right field. We'll see if that'll score a run. They're going to wave him home, and Calhoun can't quite handle it at first base. Sliding in to score is Noah Ruck. And that'll make our score 3-0 favoring Oakwood. Call it an RBI single for Kobe Fletcher. And now Isaiah Ruck coming up to the plate with a chance to build on what has been a pretty good third inning for Oakwood. 2 runs already have come home, and a chance for Isaiah Ruck to make it 3 or more. And this is going to get into left field. Waved home. Well, now we've got a pickle here. It's going to be a rundown for Harden. Brown can't quite handle it, and the throw to third is going to get him. Oh, my. Will Brown, there's a lot to digest in that play right there. So they waved Harden home, but I don't think Harden was quite sure when he rounded third that that's what he really wanted to do. Throw was cut off in the infield, and then Harden found himself in a rundown. Throw went to Brown about halfway between third and the plate. He misplayed it a little bit, but did a good job of recovering. And the Tigers wound up getting the out. So Brady Howard and Noah Ruck came home to score in that top of the third inning. And our score, Oakwood 3, Urbana still scoreless. Hayden Hartley set to kick things off for us in the bottom half of the third, and then it'll be Will Brown, and then the Tigers flip back to the top of the order. Glad you're with us live on Facebook this afternoon, the first baseball game of the Tigers season. And a quick shout out to Michael King, one of our viewers live on Facebook this afternoon. I mentioned earlier that Brookins was formerly an elementary school. Turns out it was actually Brookins Junior High School, not an elementary school. Brookins, of course, now serves as the home of several administrative facilities for Champaign County, in addition to being the home for Urbana Park District Athletics. Formerly Brookins Junior High School before it was converted into its current use as kind of that administrative center and athletic facility. As this is taken, fouled onto the hill behind the first base dugout, our batter, Hayden Hartley. Hartley in left field for Urbana, kicking off the bottom of the third. Tigers trail 3-0. Wind picking up here at Prairie Park, as it is apt to do. Not a lot of trees out here in this part of the town. There are a few little trees behind us, but not nearly enough to block the wind. Swing and a miss from Hartley. Ball and 2 strikes. On deck, Will Brown. And we'll see him right now as Hartley strikes out. So Will Brown behind the plate. We've called his name a few times thus far. His first plate appearance of the season. A little redundant that I've been saying that all game, as this is the first game of the season for Urbana. So these players, of course, coming into this one with a clean slate, if you will. 1-0 now to Brown, and it will be 2-0. That pitch was inside. Fouled back, 2-1. One out, bottom 3. In the dirt. Ball 3. They had ball 3 on the scoreboard before that one was pitched. It's as if they knew. So Will Brown ahead in the count. And inside, ball 4 to Will Brown. So now Zeke Brown coming up, no relation. Brown drew a walk in the first plate appearance of the game for Urbana. So no official at-bats to speak of, but reached base in his only plate appearance, now in the bottom of the third. Harden steps off. Looks like the umpire not quite ready to go, but now we are ready to roll with 1 out, bottom 3. High for ball one. The sun has retreated behind a cloud. And that'll be low and outside, ball two. Two and 0. Looked a little outside, but they'll call it a strike. 2-1. And this is going to be taken back to the mound by Brown. And Will Brown stays at first, 2 away. So with 2 away, Garrett Fraley, center fielder for the Tigers, in for his second at-bat. Fielder's choice in the first inning. And I should denote that Donnie Williams is running at first base for Will Brown. Brown, the catcher for Urbana, so they brought the courtesy runner in for him to allow Brown to get his catcher's gear on and get ready to play defensively in the top of the fourth. Fraley finds himself behind 0-2. Pitch was in the dirt, and Donnie Williams was a good distance away from first base. Throw over to the bag. He got back in time. 1-2. Nice hit from Fraley, but a nice snag at third base. Isaiah Ruck makes the play to end the third. And going to the fourth inning, our score, Oakwood 3, Urbana still scoreless. This is Urbana Tigers baseball on Urbana Public Television. Back out for another inning on the mound will be Braden Rudisil. Well, March Madness begins tonight with the first 4 in Dayton, Ohio. March Madness, the favorite time of the sports calendar for lots of people. Tips off tonight. Good article on newsgazette.com this morning by Scott Ritchie, Illinois basketball beat writer, listed all 68 teams in the tournament in order of who you should root for. Pretty good read. I won't spoil who finished where because I would encourage everyone to go read it. It really was a nice read. I will share that my Bradley Braves did not fare too well in that article. Turbulent year for Bradley. Speaking just about the season in general, the first, well, I should back up. No team had ever started Missouri Valley Conference play 0-3 and won the Valley Tournament. Bradley started 0-5 and won the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament. That gives you an idea of just how even the season was in the Missouri Valley Conference. Bradley wound up finishing the year on a hot streak. Wound up getting a 5 seed, defeated 6th seeded Northern Iowa in the title game. drew a 15 seed in the tournament, and after a turbulent weekend off the court, they look to defeat Michigan State in Des Moines at about 2 o'clock on Thursday. I will be there. And as I was going off on that tangent, Quentin White struck out to kick off the top of the fourth. Batter is Caden Wells. Wells is the center fielder for Oakwood. 0-1, and he'll foul this one back to the backstop, strike two. Of course, I mentioned earlier I'm a freshman at Bradley University, sports communication major. And I will be making the trip from Urbana to Des Moines on Thursday morning to watch not only Bradley Michigan State, but the first game of that session, Louisville and Minnesota. First time I've ever experienced March Madness in person. And I hope that it'll be worth the 10 hours in the car there and back to Des Moines. Wells, it's 1-2, one out. On deck, Jacob Spear. And Wells is 0 for 1, lined out to second base in the second inning. 2-2 the count. Rudisill, despite giving up 3 runs thus far, has pitched well, and he's got another strikeout in the books right there. So our batter, Jacob Spear. Spear lined out to center field in his first at-bat. The second baseman for Oakwood in this one. And he takes ball number 1. So Spear ahead in the count, 2-0. And now 3-0. And he'll draw a walk. So now back to the top of the order, and Brady Howard. Howard 0 for 1 with the strikeout, but 2 plate appearances, and he drew a walk in his most recent one. Also came around to score 1 inning ago. And back to Bradley, Michigan State. I like the matchup for Bradley. I really do. I think they've got a good chance. Michigan State, a team that relies on their guards more so than their size, and that's the kind of team that Bradley can shut down. I think Bradley is one of the best defensive teams in America. Maybe a bit of a hot take, but we'll see if they can back me up Thursday against Michigan State. Taking second here is going to be Spear. Spear will steal second. 1-0 count to Brady Howard. And I will concede, I don't know what channel the Bradley game is on Thursday. It'll be either TBS, TNT, CBS, or True TV. I know Kevin Harlan is on the call. 2-0 to Brady Howard. And Bradley 1-0 in games with Kevin Harlan behind the mic this season. Bodes well for the Braves, perhaps. 2-0. Now it'll be 2-1. Yeah, that's a stat that no one's really talking about. 2-1, chopped back to Rudisil. The throw to first to Calhoun in time. Calhoun reaches up, brings it home. No runs for the Comets in the top of the fourth. To the bottom of the fourth we go. Our score, Oakwood 3, Urbana 0. Plenty of good content on the Braves postseason run on my buddy Larry Larson's YouTube channel. He accompanied me down to St. Louis. This would have been whenever we played in St. Louis. Not last weekend, but the week before. And vlogged the whole experience. A lot of good content on his channel. YouTube search for Larry Larson Bradley should get you to his content. What else can I say about Bradley? Bradley 1-0 in first-round tournament games since 2000. Small sample size. They've only made the tournament once since 2000, 2006. They beat Kansas and then, I want to say Pittsburgh, but they beat Kansas and then someone to advance to the Sweet 16. Leading off the bottom of the fourth for Urbana will be Jacob Welbus. Welbus, Calhoun, and Rudisil. Strike one to Welbus, and a nice pitch from Elijah Harden there. A pitch that started on the inside, broke its way back to the center of the plate. Nice pitch to start the bottom of the fourth from Harden, and this pitch is tipped back foul, 0-2. On deck for Urbana, Braden Rudisil, and then Alex Poor. Check that. It is Miller Calhoun on deck for Urbana, and then Braden Rudisil was off by a batter. Welbus, in his first at-bat, flew out to center. We'll have to wait for at least one more pitch to see how this at-bat ends. 1-2 count. And grounded to short. Beating the throw as well, but he's safe at first. So now in steps Miller Calhoun. Calhoun, fielder's choice. Back in his first at-bat. Looking around me here at Prairie Park, the sun is back out. Looks like some fans have brought a football. Enjoying that behind the third base dugout. A lot of Tiger students I see have brought tiger-striped blankets in order to combat the sometimes chilly temperatures here. Miller Calhoun, the batter for Urbana. I mentioned fielder's choice in his first time up. Welbus back safely at first base. Taken foul down the third base line by Calhoun. 1-1 to Calhoun. Foul down the third base line, so 1-2 for Calhoun. He's got to battle back here. No outs, still in the bottom of the fourth. And this is where the Tigers need to be looking to get some runs. Anything is possible. You know, this whole game I've been thinking of last season's opener, wherein the Tigers took down Villa Grove Heritage in a game that came right down to the wire. It was a 15-14 final score. A Levi Coffey walk-off hit won it for Urbana as Welbus takes second base. Tigers would probably like to win this one with fewer than 15 runs. I think a 4-3 final score would be just fine for Urbana, but well, I don't think the Tigers would have a problem scoring 15 as long as they won by more than one. So I guess what I should have said is the Tigers would be just fine winning this while giving up fewer than 14. Full count to Calhoun with no outs. And this is taken right back to the backstop, foul ball. Braden Rudisil on deck for Urbana. And then it would be Alex Poor. Full count Calhoun. Welbus was looked back to second. The throw pulled the first baseman off the bag, but Calhoun still got tagged. And Welbus advances to third after all. So call Calhoun out on the 6-3. Welbus, the runner for Urbana at third. And up to the plate, Braden Rudisil with one away. So even a good pop fly to the outfield could bring that run home from third. We'll see how Rudisil decides to attack, and he does send a good fly ball to right, but it'll go and drop foul. And a good decision there from the right fielder, Kobe Fletcher, because if he catches that in foul territory, that's deep enough to score Welbus. So a nice job on his part to let it go foul. Off the bat, a little deceiving. I wasn't sure if it was going to stay in fair territory or not. Wind picked it up and it sailed foul. Called strike, 0-2. This is taken. Left center. I don't know if it's deep enough for the run to come home, but the way it's fielded by the shortstop will be enough to bring Jacob Welbus home. Tigers cut into the lead. Welbus home to score 3-1, still favoring Oakwood. So a sac fly from Rudisil. Jacob Welbus, who led things off with a single in to score. And Alex Poor takes ball one. Poor struck out in his first at-bat, but a pretty good hitter for the Tigers, despite batting here sixth in the lineup. Takes ball two inside. Ball three. And if Poor should get on base, Garrett Grants, the next batter of the frame for Urbana. Ball four, Poor indeed gets on base. 1-0. To Grants. Poor at first, outside 2-0. Time called here, and we'll have a meeting on the mound from Oakwood. Grants will go over and talk to Gino Hoffman. Quick meeting on the mound, and quickly departing is Noah Ruck. The catcher for Oakwood was at the mound for all of maybe 5 seconds before departing back for his post behind home plate. 1-0. Grants, the batter for Urbana, swinging and missing at strike number 1. High ball number 2. Some good news to report. The Texas Rangers ahead of the Milwaukee Brewers, 3-2. Spring training baseball over in Arizona right now. But any Rangers lead is a good one. That game working past the 6th inning. 2-1, taken well but foul. And caught with one hand by a fan. A few feet beyond the first base dugout over there. Nice catch there, Red Hoodie. Our count now 2-2. And I can say with relative certainty that the fan that caught that was not Steve Waller. This is fouled behind us here, behind the plate. So now deuces all around, 2-2 count with 2 outs. Tigers trail by 2. Working through the bottom of inning 2 times 2, the bottom of the 4th. Check over to first, nothing going on over there. Two again. High ball 3. And they will intentionally walk Garrett Grants. New batter for Urbana, Hayden Hartley, who struck out in his first at-bat. 0 for 1. So Oakwood will switch things up here, coming into pitch. Well, hold on a second. Coming into pitch will be Josh Young, number 13. And we'll see how this affects the defensive alignment for Oakwood. Noah Ruck still behind the plate. We'll see if Elijah Harden stays in the game or not. And Harden pitched well. You know, Harden departs the game now, but he only leaves runners at first and second. And he only gave up 1 run through 4 innings. So not a bad outing for Elijah Harden in what I would assume is his first appearance of the season. I obviously can't say that for certain. Don't know if he pitched yesterday in the Comets' loss to Unity, but I would assume he didn't, because that'd be a pretty quick turnaround. So not a bad outing from Elijah Harden whatsoever. He pitched 4 good innings and largely shut the Tigers down. Now we'll see what Josh Young can do. First batter he will face is Hayden Hartley. Hartley struck out. Enters this at-bat 0 for 1. Takes strike 1, 0-1. now 0-2. And Hartley strikes out. That will end the fourth inning. So the Tigers, not an unproductive bottom of the fourth. Probably didn't get as many runs as you like, stranding 2 on base. But they cut into the lead 3-1, the deficit for Urbana. That's 2 strikeouts thus far for Hartley. So it'll be Will Brown leading off the bottom of the 5th for Urbana. But before we get to that point, Brady Howard, I believe, is set to lead things off in the top of the 5th for Oakwood. So set to lead things off, I was off by a batter, Noah Ruck. Will kick things off. Bottom of the top of the 5th. Top of the 5th is the inning we're in, not the bottom of the 5th. Ruck struck out and drew a walk in his first 2 plate appearances. Enters this one 0 for 1. And the pitch kind of skipped the plate from Rudisil to Brown. But they'll call it a strike. 0-1, all right. Foul to the backstop, 0-2. Ball 1-2. Again, a big thank you to our viewers live on Facebook this afternoon. Urbana Public Television, proud to bring you Urbana Tigers baseball. 1-2 pitch forthcoming from Braden Rudisil. He's fouled right back to the backstop, still 1-2. Although I won't be around all season, as I will head back to Bradley University come Sunday for the rest of the semester there. Urbana Public Television, proud to bring you Urbana Athletics. Urbana High School Athletics, I should say, throughout the 2019 spring season and beyond. Two and two. Our producer this afternoon, Jason Liggett. And I'm Joey Wright. Current freshman at Bradley University in Peoria, Illinois, home for spring break. I was Urbana class of 18. Ooh, and that'll run in and nail Noah Ruck. Got him right in the leg, but he'll jog to first. Looks like he's okay. So our new batter is Elijah, hold on, taking second is Ruck. And Elijah Harden, although he departed from the mound last inning, stays in and is batting now top of the 5th. 0 for 1 with a walk. 2-0. And now 3-1. Will Brown will come to the mound and have a quick meeting with Rudisil. Three and two. Yeah, that'll be ball four. Harden will draw a walk. His second walk of the game. And Brady Hobick will stand in, set to hit here in the top of the fifth. You know, I never like to get political on a broadcast, but, you know, I look over to my right, and there is apparently a local politician named Henry running for re-election, but he's got his sign in the garbage can there. So I don't know what that says about the campaign old Hank over there is running, but if he's still in the race, he might want to get that out of the garbage can. The optics of that can't be very good. Luckily, we can't see his last name or what he's running for, but not quite sure what's going on over there. We'll have a pitching change for Urbana here. Alex Poore will come in relief of Rudisil, and he'll get warmed up. First batter he'll face will be Brady Hobick. Hobick scored the first run of the game for Oakwood back in the second inning. 1 for 1 with a sac fly. I'm not sure if Rudisil will stay in the game or not. We'll see. Best variety of yesterday and today. Light Rock 97.5 WHMS. Local radio station. Tonight from 7 to midnight, Delilah on Light Rock 97.5. So batting is Braden Hobick. One and 0. Two and 0. And this is taken right back up the middle. A diving stop from Welbus proves fruitless. And that'll be a run for Oakwood. And winding up at second base is Hobick. Now 2 runners in scoring position and a 4-1 lead for Oakwood. Ruck and Harden came in to score there. Our batter, Kobe Fletcher. Foul to the backstop. 0-2. There he is. Steve Waller now in attendance here at Prairie Park. I knew he'd show up. 0-2 to Fletcher. Still no outs and 2 runners in scoring position for Oakwood. Line foul down the first base line. So they'll give Alex Poor a new baseball, and we'll keep on trucking. 0-2 count to Fletcher. Tigers trail by 3. And that'll be strike number 3 to Fletcher. New batter, Isaiah Ruck, takes an outside strike number 1. Tell you what, it's turned into a pretty nice evening here at Prairie Park. Sun shining upon us, and the wind has died down. Ball 1. There was a stretch in about the 3rd inning where it was cloudy, and the wind was blowing, and it was not very pleasant. But it has turned into a pretty nice night here at Prairie Park. 1-1 outside for ball number 2. It's 2-1. Quentin White on deck for the Comets. They'll call that a low ball 3. Caden Wells on deck. Or check that, Quentin White on deck as I just... Well, no, that's not even Quentin White. Taking first base is Isaiah Ruck. And Josh Young, the new pitcher for Oakwood, coming in to hit. So he's got the bases loaded with 1 out. See what Josh Young can do. First pitch taken foul behind the first base dugout. Call the ball, 1-1. Well struck right field. Foul. But it's 327 feet down the line there to the foul pole. And that ball was hit a good 300 feet. Foul. But well struck from Young, 1-2. Dimensions here at Prairie Park, 327 to the corners and 375 to deep center. Grounded to short. Welbus makes the play. Throw to second in time. Throw to first, a double play. Just what the Tigers needed. That'll end the top of the 5th. Welbus to Brown to Calhoun. 6-4-3. And to the bottom of the 5th, our score, Oakwood 4, Urbana 1. Set to kick things off for Urbana will be Will Brown, then Zeke Brown, and Garrett Fraley. Big thank you to our viewing audience once again on Facebook Live. And not a request I would normally make, but with a long drive ahead of me on Thursday, I invite our viewers on Facebook Live to reply with any podcast suggestions that they've got. Maybe an interesting, podcast that someone watching this has to recommend. I would prefer something with sports, but 10 hours there and back to Des Moines, I'm willing to listen to about anything. So if you're watching and have a good podcast for me to check out, definitely willing to look into anything you've got. Our producer, Jason Liggett, big fan of The Jump, NBA-centered podcast, also a show on ESPN, of course. Might have to give that a go on the ride to and from Des Moines. Will Brown set to lead things in, and of course I mentioned earlier the reason why I'm driving to Des Moines. March Madness. Louisville, Minnesota, and Bradley, Michigan State, the two games that I will take in on Thursday morning and early afternoon. Swinging and a foul tip to the backstop from Brown, 0-1. Strike 2 to Will Brown. Brown 0 for 1 with a... That's not Brown. Brown is now 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Before that, he had drawn a walk. Batter is Zeke Brown. Breaking ball, called a ball. 0-2. Called the ball, 2-1. Three and one inside, and that'll be ball 4. New batter, Garrett Fraley. Fraley, a fielder's choice, and a line out to third base in 2 plate appearances through this one so far. Now ahead in the count, 1-0. One and one count with 1 out. Taken to short, 1 out at second, 2 outs at first, a double play. Just as the top of the frame ended, the bottom of the 5th will end the same way, a 6-4-3 double play. To the 6th we go, Oakwood 4, Urbana 1. Alex Poor back out for another inning of work for Urbana. Glad you're with us on Urbana Public Television this afternoon. Urbana Tigers baseball, the opening game of the 2019 season. Urbana hosting Oakwood, and Oakwood leading 4-1 entering the top of the 6th. Shadows beginning to get a little longer here at Prairie Park. Just 3 minutes away from the 6 o'clock hour at Prairie Park. What has turned into a respectable night for baseball. Wind not too strong and the sun shining off to our right. First pitch from Poor to the backstop, ball 1. What's that old saying? The sun rises in the east and sets in the west, or something like that. One, it sets in the west, or east and rises in the east and sets in the. There you go. Less of a saying than factually true, yes, but we are seeing that in motion right now here at Prairie Park as the sun begins to set. 2-0. Make that 3-0. Our batter is Quentin White. And by Quentin White, I mean Caden Wells, center fielder for Oakwood in this one. Take strike 1. Three and 1 as the sun retreats behind a cloud. Ball 4. Wells takes first base. And an interesting fact about the sun, you learned this in first grade, not a planet, but rather the largest star in our solar system. As Caden Wells will take second base. Throw a little errant, but it was cut off there by Zeke Brown. Ball 2 to Wells. Diving attempt from Welbus, no. Well, we'll hold that thought. Calhoun's throw to the plate. This is going to be close. Did he get him? Umpire just decided not to signal anything there, but I think they're going to count the. They're going to count the run. The umpire never signaled safe or out. Yeah, well, it was, yeah. My question would have been if he'd got the tag on or not. He did not, and Oakwood leads 5-1. Wells came home to score there, and Jacob Spear standing at second base at the plate. Brady Howard. Two and 1 to Howard. No outs. Jacob Spear standing at second base. This is fouled right back to the backstop. 2 and 2. Our score 5-1. We are working the top of the 6th. Looks like we're on pace to play all 7 innings here at Prairie Park this evening. Popped up, should be playable over by first, and the catch is made. No tag from Spear at second base, he'll stay put. That was Braden Rudisil that came all the way in from Well, he is playing in first base, so looked like he was going to head back to second base, but first baseman Rudisil made the play. 1 away. An F3 for Howard. Looks like some sort of equipment issue for Will Brown. One out, top 6. So the batter when we get going again will be Noah Ruck. Ruck struck out in the first inning, then drew a walk and got hit by a pitch. So 0 for 1 still, even though this will be his 4th plate appearance in the top of the 6th. Quite the issue here. I think it was a problem with Brown's mask that they're looking to fix, because that's what he was holding as he walked over to the dugout. Umpire now looking him over to make sure he's good to go. Doesn't quite look like he's ready. Hands the mask back over to someone in the dugout, I would assume Coach Pavlakis. Nope, Gino Hoffman's over there in the dugout. They had a 1-2 chance there. Can't really see from my vantage point, but now's a good time to remind you that Urbana Summer Softball coming to you again this summer on Urbana Public Television. Be out there at beautiful Fort Harris Park several nights throughout the summer. Always a fun time over there. Really a nice facility they've got over at Fort Harris Park. I know they've just put a lot of work into it, and it really shows. Excited to bring you Urbana Summer Softball across all age groups this summer. Last summer, our schedule was hampered by rain a little bit, but once we got going, we were out there for we only made it out there, I think, one night last summer. 1 or 2. I think across 2 nights, yeah. Yeah, we did 2 double headers. And it was a fun time. I'm excited for that this summer on Urbana Public Television. Also next Wednesday, Urbana Softball opens their Urbana Public Television schedule. That game will get going about 4:30, so tune in next Wednesday for that. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Noah Ruck behind in the count 1-2. Fouled right over the backstop fence. Squarely hits one of those little trees behind us. 1-2. Popped up, won't leave the infield. Under it, Braden Rudisil makes the catch. 2 outs. Elijah Harden next up for Oakwood. Grounded out to short in the first inning and then drew 2 walks. So still 0 for 1 here, working the top of the 6th. Taken to second. Brown dove for it, couldn't get it. Into the outfield, it's a single. And an RBI for Oakwood. Was that not an RBI? Okay, yeah. I knew it was. The scoreboard has yet to denote it as such. Our score now 6-1 favoring Oakwood. Batter Braden Hobick. Outside ball 2. Outside now 3-0. And a walk to Hobick. New batter will be Kobe Fletcher. Fletcher 1 for 3, a single and 2 strikeouts. Fletcher takes an inside strike 1. Low ball 2. Taken into left. Calhoun will field it, and the runners will hold. The bases are loaded for Oakwood with 2 outs on the top of the 6th. Batter Isaiah Ruck grounded into a double play his last time up. 0 for 3. First pitch he sees is high, ball 1. Ball 2. Even with the Tigers facing adversity here, you never want to discount the fact that they are right in this. Look no further than last year's season opener against Villa Grove Heritage. Nothing short of a wild 15-14 win for the Tigers on a Levi Coffey walk-off single. That game was crazy as Ruck swings and misses 2-2, the count with 2 outs. Tigers not out of this despite being down by 4 in the top of the 6th. 2 outs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Isaiah Ruck at the plate, Poor on the mound, and this is right back to us. Good thing the backstop was in the way. I don't think that would That probably would have gone over our heads, but still enough to make me jump. Still 2 and 2 and 2. Swing, and I don't know if it was missed or tipped back into Will Brown's glove. Same result, nevertheless. Top of the 6th in the books. Oakwood 5, Urbana 4. Order for the Tigers: Jake Welbus, Miller Calhoun, and Braden Rudisil. Striding into the batter's box for Urbana, Jake Welbus. We're in the bottom of the 6th, and Urbana trails 5-1. First game of the season for Urbana, second of the season for Oakwood. Oakwood 0-1, so both teams looking for their first win of the 2019 campaign. Urbana won't get it with that swing. Welbus swings and misses 0-1. But no swing from no swing from Welbus here could single-handedly propel the Tigers to a victory. Mathematically impossible. 0-2. What Welbus could do with a home run is make it a 3-run game, but that's best case scenario. Still 0-2 to Welbus. High and outside to the backstop. It will roll, ball 1. Retrieved by Miller Calhoun. One, two. Taken to short. It'll be a tough play. Welbus hustling, and he's thrown out for the first out. Miller Calhoun into the batter's box. Calhoun, a fielder's choice, and a ground out to short in this one. One bounce to the catcher, Noah Rock. 0-1. Strike to Calhoun, 1-1.
Stand still. I'm not going to push you that hard this time.
Call it a strike, 1-2. Two and two to Calhoun. Next up for Urbana, Braden Rudisil. Grounded foul down the third base line. So still 2-2. Full count to Calhoun. Rudisil on deck. In the dirt, Calhoun draws a walk. So Rudisil on deck. He started the game on the mound for the Tigers, has since switched to first base. Calhoun started at first base and is now in the outfield. Pitch to Rudisil outside to the backstop, and Miller will take second base. So now a runner in scoring position and an out for the Tigers. See how they respond. Two and 0. Rudisil thought about swinging at that one. Probably should have. 2-1. This pitch over the catcher, and Calhoun will take third. So Josh Young a little wild on the mound right now. We'll see if they call a meeting. No, they won't. 3-1. Rudisil could drive Calhoun home with a sac fly. So any pop-up to the outfield, you've got to watch here. Ball 4. Not quite sure where that missed, but in any case, it puts runners at the corners for the Tigers. And set to hit Alex Poor. Poor 0 for 1 with a walk. One out and at the corners. First pitch, a beautiful strike number 1. Well struck, left center. Outfielders coming in. It's fielded in center. Coming home to score is Calhoun. He's in safely. No contest. Sac fly from Rudisil makes it a 3-run ball game. 5-2. Still favoring Oakwood, but the Tigers with life. Peyton Sheen in the game for the Tigers, set to hit. More on Sheen after this as he swings and misses at an inside strike number 1. Sheen, leading scorer for the Tigers basketball team. Tigers basketball team that won their first regional title in 30 years this past season. Many thought they were favorites to raise the ultimate trophy in Peoria, a state title, but they were upset by Lincoln in the sectional round. One and two count to Sheen. Sheen pinch hitting for Grants, I believe. Swing and a miss from Sheen. That'll end the 6th inning. The Tigers post a run. Still trail 5-2. Heading to our last inning of regulation. Our score is 6-2. I knew it was 6-2, and I mentioned that when Oakwood posted their 6th run, but the scoreboard has yet to update. 5-2, looking right out there, threw me off. So 6-2, and they really probably should get the scoreboard in order over there, but what do I know? The Tigers basketball team didn't get a chance to play in Peoria for a state championship. Luckily, though, the IHSA baseball tournament also in Peoria, so the Tigers still a chance to play for stakes over in Peoria County this year with the state baseball. And that takes place at Dozer Park in Peoria. It's actually a really nice ballpark. I've yet to go, but just looking at pictures. It's where the Bradley baseball team plays, so I will be there soon enough. At second base, throw to Rudisill's in time. Josh Young goes down. I'm not sure if the state football tournament, it rotates between NIU and Champaign, so I'm not quite sure where it'll be next year. Tigers have some work to do if they want to play for a football state championship, but anything's possible. Football season kicks off next fall on Urbana Public Television. Taken well into right field, but foul. And that'll go off the fence towards the batting cage, 0-1. Our batter, Caden Wells. One and two. In the dirt, 2-2. And the pitch forthcoming from Poor. Poor has pitched pretty well. I say that as he gives up a single. Could turn into a double. Oh, but the out recorded at second. What a job out there in center field from Garrett Fraley. Out number 2. Nice throw. So 2 outs. That's big for the Tigers. Trailing by 4 here, top of the 7th. Can't give up any runs if they want to have a chance in the bottom of the frame, and the play made by Rudisill. He'll do it himself. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Tigers trail 6-2. But again, as last year's opener against Villa Grove Heritage proved, anything possible when you step onto the field at Prairie Park. I mentioned at the top of the show, the field where dreams come true. Tigers look to make the dream come true in the 7th, trailing by 4. Sun continuing to set, but if this 7th inning moves along at a pretty good pace, we will finish under sunlight without much problem. Shadows getting long and temperature dropping just slightly here, but otherwise a beautiful evening for baseball. Hopefully we're out of here by 11 p.m. because that's when the lighted ball diamonds close here at Prairie Park. Also, both teams have done a good job of keeping their dogs off the field. No dogs allowed on the field here at Prairie Park either. Although this field is pretty clearly lined up for a game, and both teams have not stayed off the field. So, all in good fun. As this field well maintained by the Urbana Park District. And one more shout out to our viewers watching us live on Facebook this evening. Urbana Athletics on Urbana Public Television. First baseball game of the season. And our viewership has stayed pretty consistent throughout the game. So those who have tuned in for the whole game, and we appreciate that. Donnie Drake set to lead off the bottom of the 7th for the Tigers. His first at-bat of the game, a swinging strike number 1 for Drake. And the Rangers held on to beat Milwaukee. Spring training baseball. Big win. Drake swinging and missing. It'll be 1-2. Drake, now a senior, has been in the program all 4 years of his high school career. Swinging and missing, out number 1. Will Brown coming in to hit. Brown 0 for 1 with a walk. Strike 1. That'll be ball 1. Count full of 1s, 1-1 with an out. Outside, strike 2. 1-2. After this, the Tigers' order flips back to the top, and we go to Zeke Brown. And we'll go to Zeke Brown right now. Tigers down to their last out. One and 0 to Brown. Now 1-1 on the swing and a miss. One and 2, and the Tigers down to their last strike. Swing and a miss. Brown down on strikes, and Oakwood on the board with their first win of the year. 6-2 over Urbana, the final score. Urbana will have to wait at least one more game to get their first win of the season as they open with a loss here at Prairie Park. So that's our ball game from Urbana tonight. Prairie Park, the field where dreams come true, playing host to a 6-2 Oakwood win. For our producer, Jason Liggett, I am Joey Wright. Be sure to tune into Urbana Public Television all spring long, your home for Urbana athletics. Final score from Urbana today, Oakwood 6, Urbana 2. Thank you. Go Braves.